Hey guys, y'all see me? I'm feeding baby Empress right here. Say hi. Hi y'all. All right, guys. How y'all doing, man? Me, I'm feeling a little fatigued. What about y'all? Drop the comments down below. Let me open up this chat. Let's see what we got here. Yes, baby Empress is talking. All right. Dot, dot, dot. Oh, YouTube got all these guidelines now. All right, what's going on? Let's see. What's going on? Hey guys, y'all start dropping the comments down below. Yeah, let's get to it. Hey man, Will CD, what's up? Hey, oh my gosh, I see Eric, John Park. What's going on, guys? Whoa. Y'all see baby Empress, send her some love too. Good morning. Hey. Howdy. Okay, we got some little Texas going on. Oh my gosh, guys. So I just really want to go live. I felt like this year has kind of just been yes, baby. Yes, yes. I feel like this year has been like this has been the most interesting year of my life. I feel like it's been very rewarding in regards to bringing life into the world. Like that's different, right? With baby Empress, and y'all see her now, like she's 10 months. That's crazy. Like I'm still like, whoa, I'm a mom. And there's been other things in which like relationships I've had with people have changed and that was been tough. It's just been like a lot of life things happening to me. And I know you guys have probably been like, oh, what's going on with Empress, the uploads, and y'all, it's been crazy. That's the best I can say. And I feel like all of us are human beings, so I feel like all of y'all can relate to what I'm saying right now. Like, but literally, like when you go through it in life, like you just go through it, and it's just been one of those things where I've been having to focus on things I didn't necessarily want to focus on, take care of business I didn't want to necessarily have to do. And of course, like that feeds into everything, right? That feeds into my time, that feeds into like my mood on reaction, like just everything. And so I just want to tell y'all I love y'all. Thank y'all just for the support, for always holding me down. And just as much as you guys say that I make y'all happy when y'all watch the reactions, I can say the same thing about y'all. Like when I see the comments and just the support y'all giving me, because I feel like y'all don't understand. Like literally, y'all have given me support way more than some of the people I know, like in person, in real life. You know what I mean? And so, yeah, but that's a hard pill to swallow when people tell you they love you, and you're like, well, how is this possible? Because again, one thing that y'all don't even know, like a lot of y'all, and I'm gonna say it, I'm just gonna be honest with y'all. A lot of y'all bought baby Empress things off the registry where like my blood relatives didn't even buy her things off the registry. You know what I mean? And you come to these realizations in life and you just like, why am I dealing with this? Like, why am I allowing people to use me like this? Like, I don't know if y'all hype about this Color Purple reimagining the musical, but I've been watching some of the interviews and I could relate to what Fantasia is talking about, like about not wanting to play that character Celie because when she was on Broadway, she was carrying her family, and I was in that situation, y'all, for so long where I didn't even know I was being used. You know what I mean? Like it's like but then you don't know, and then it's a part of like the part where is like a part of denial, and then the part of you that doesn't know, it's kind of like you're in the thickness of it, and sometimes you can't see certain things. And then it's also you don't want to believe certain people are doing certain things to you because you love them so much too. You're like, nah, like possibly, no way. But then when you go back and you kind of like, that was fake. You know what I'm saying? Listen, y'all. And when I tell you, like, yes, y'all are saying that John Briar Point, yes, like the family can be a double-edged sword because it's like literally it was one of those situations with my family is that like literally, and Marty, you're right, like I had to learn when I was pregnant, and that's the thing, like literally when I was pregnant, I was just going through it, y'all. Like y'all don't even know because for the simple fact of y'all know about the rainbow baby, right? And that loss, that was a hard pill to swallow, right? And then just being pregnant with baby Empress, who is here with us today, right? Again, such a miracle. But having that anxiety of losing that first child, you like, oh my gosh, like every doctor's appointment, you on edge, right? And in my case, I had a silent miscarriage, and that was like crazy because you go to the doctor's office, and the first time, like they put me on the yes, baby, the first time they put me on, to get the sonogram, I could tell something was wrong. And they told me like, yeah, we're gonna hear a heartbeat, and that's not something you expect to hear, right? Especially your first pregnancy. You're like, what? So again, I was devastated. But good news is we got baby Empress. But again, throughout the pregnancy, when you go through something like that, you always on eggshells. You always nervous. Every doctor's appointment, right? Because you've experienced that, and that's the kind of pain you just don't ever want to experience again. So anyway, you would think, some family members would be empathetic, right, to this whole situation. But no, there was a lot of family drama that happened during the pregnancy. And unfortunately, yes, that's right, baby Empress. Unfortunately, I was one of those women who I just could not enjoy my pregnancy at all because it was kind of like, again, you worried about the health of the baby, but then also you have like this family stress, and it's kind of like, dang, does anybody even care that I'm pregnant? You know what I'm saying? Like I'm going like, if I didn't have pressure, my husband, literally, y'all, I don't know what it would have been, and it got so bad between me and my family that when I had Empress, I didn't invite none of them to come to the hospital. It was just me and pressure because it's kind of like, why wouldn't it be us? Because it's just always been us anyway. You know what I mean? And I didn't want the negativity in the room when I was having the baby. You know what I mean? And yes, y'all, baby Empress was born to Michael Jackson. Was playing Michael, and it was just a lovely experience, right? And Pressure was a good doula. He was in there coaching me through it. But anyway, I say that to say some family members, they felt some type of way, right? Because I didn't tell them I was in labor. But of course, that was by design. Like, why would I want negativity in the hospital room? Yes, yes. You want to sit up, Will? Hey, Jennifer. Yeah, I'm just, for y'all who just joining, I'm just literally talking about like, whoa, you tripping? Yeah, she tripping, y'all. But I'm just literally talking about like this year and like why, uploads and stuff has been slow, and yeah, I just been going through so much, y'all. And like I'm not the type of person that, tell the people my problems and stuff, but I felt like I owe it to y'all, the community, because like I've been saying, if you're just not joining, y'all have been holding me down. Like y'all have truly been a beacon of light, and y'all don't even know it, right? Because again, I've been going through some dark times, y'all. But again, with faith and the love I have for my husband and baby Empress, like literally keeping me going, keeping me going. Yes, yes, yes. And Haven, I mean, like yes. Hold on, y'all. Let me see if Empress gonna watch Miss Rachel real quick. Gosh. She she wanted to talk. Yes. Yeah, say bye, y'all. Say bye bye. Y'all see her teeth too? Like she's getting look about the milk off. She's getting like so many teeth. It's crazy, y'all. It's wild. Yeah. Okay, let me try to put her down real quick, y'all. Give me 1 second. Yeah, pretty. Yes. All right, y'all. Here I'm back. All right, y'all. I'm back. Yeah, I appreciate y'all comments, man. And I literally was just talking to a friend, and I remember like this was, and again, I had Empress in February. So in January, I think I was like the most stressed. I was so stressed to the point where throughout like the whole pregnancy, I never had high blood pressure or none of that. But the day of the delivery, my blood pressure was high, right? And I remember a friend of mine telling me, she's like, you got to protect your family. And it's something about, I don't know if y'all experienced this, but like when you're young, right? It's almost kind of like it's hard to reconcile you being an adult outside of your family, and then once that happens, people in your family they don't respect you being an adult, right? Like they they want to see you as like the little kid that they could mold and manipulate. You know what I mean? But then, like when you put your foot down, they don't want to respect it because they still see you as this little kid. You know what I mean? And that's the problem I was having with my family because, going back to when I first started on YouTube, I don't know how many of y'all seen like those earlier lives, but in high school, I used to work 2 jobs, y'all, like literally. Like I went to school and then I would get out of school probably around like 12, 1 o'clock. I would go to either one or the other job. But then on the weekend, I would work both jobs. So I was like a teenager who didn't necessarily have like a teenagehood because if that's a word, teenagehood, I don't know. But I didn't have that because I was like always working, right? And it's just always been in me to like better myself. Like I want to be better and up out of these surroundings, right? I'm not going to mope around. I'm going to do something about it. Like I've always just been a person of action. And so anyway, with that being said, like I was under the guise in loyalty. That is a scary word, right? Because I believed in loyalty. Y'all understand what I'm saying? Like I was for the family. Meaning like, okay, if I make $1, then everybody else got 50 cents. Like that's how down I was for the family. You know what I mean? And things just started being revealed, and my husband literally, and again, my husband was the game changer, right? Because he was the threat that entered, and my family didn't like it simply because he opened my eyes to like, well, hmm, it's other adults in this house, but you're the only one working. Why is that? You know what I mean? Like, it's adults in this house, and but again, he wasn't telling me anything I didn't know. You understand what I'm saying? Because I would come home and I would see people hanging out in the bed, yada yada yada. But it's like, dang, I've been working all day. Like, what have you been doing? Hey, Jared, what's up? I'm just catching everybody up on the craziness of my life for the past year, but really, it's been a culmination of years. And like when you realize people are taking advantage of you, that's not a good feeling, y'all. It's like, and especially when it's coming from a place of love, like everything that I did for my family, it was always love. You know what I mean? Like I would go without to make sure other people had things. You know what I mean? Because I knew what it felt like, especially for my younger siblings. I knew what it felt like not to have certain things growing up. So I would sacrifice and be like, okay, like I'll do this, I'll do that. Like I give y'all an example. Like literally, I had a job and I was supposed to be at the job at like 8 o'clock, but my sister she went to school out of district. So literally, like I would kind of take a hitting at the job and come in late just so my sister could go to school. You know what I mean? On time. But I was getting in trouble at work because of that. But again, like the sacrifices that we make for people, I'm learning. They don't respect them. Like if they don't see it, they don't respect it, right? Because in the conversation with my family, and I'll just tell y'all what it is. Like I'll just stop being around the bush. So essentially, what it is I had bought a house, right? And my family. So let me just start. So I had bought a house, right? This is before me and Pressure got married. I bought a house, and the house came from a situation with one of my siblings. It was like some trouble, right? That he had got into or whatever, and my mom came to me and was kind of like, "Hey, can we buy a house?" And I was so green, I didn't know anything about credit and none of that, right? So I'm just like, again, and this was the type of child I am. Like anything my mama tell me to do, like I'ma do it. You know what I mean? So like, oh, mom says you can buy a house. Like I'm like, okay. Like at this point, I don't even know what my credit score is. I don't even care to know like what my credit is. Honestly, like I just had my Jeep. I was happy. You know what I mean? Like I didn't know anything about this. But one thing that I did know was that, again, I had my Jeep at that point, so I had a car note, so I knew like, whew, again, and I've been one of those people where nobody has never given me nothing, y'all. Like I have always worked for everything I've earned. Like y'all see here on YouTube, right? Like especially when I first started, y'all know I used to upload. Like the grind is crazy, so I've always been that type of person as to where I've always known I was had to take care of myself. I didn't have no safety net. Period. And so at the end of the day, my mom comes to me, right? And this is mom pulling at heartstrings. So I'm like, I didn't really want to do it, right? Because I was hesitant about it because I felt like the car note I had on my Jeep was already eating up a lot of my check at the time. But I'm like, it's mom. So, okay, mom, like, let's go talk to her brother, I guess. Right? So boom. Long story short, I had the credit. I was able to get the house by myself, which was a shocker. And yeah, so originally it was supposed to be a deal where, my mom and my brother, my older brother, at the time, he was supposed to be like, giving me X amount of dollars a month, right? So basically, I was supposed to be paying the mortgage by myself. But y'all know the story go. I ended up paying the mortgage by myself, and I expected that. But the thing is, it was like pressure on me that in hindsight, I didn't need, but I was so used to operating out of pressure, right? Like literally, y'all, since I've been like 14 years old, I just been running on go, right? It's like, listen, like I just told y'all, nobody gonna take care of me. So it's like, boom, this, and like when you're operating out of under stress, you don't realize how stressful a situation is sometimes until like it's over. And then you talking to people and they be like, dang, how did you survive this? And you like, I don't know, I never thought about it. I was just running. You know what I mean? So, and this is where I can identify with that Madonna survivor. Like I can identify with that, right? So anyway, boom, long story short, me and Pressure, right? We get married. And this is a thing that I feel like nobody thought about. So, or at least my mom, like my adult life and my aspirations. So, with that being said, we get married, and before we get married, like Pressure want to go shop for houses, and he wants to buy our house together. And I'm hesitant and I'm worried. It's the same thing. Like I had the same worry when I went off to college. Like, what's going to happen to them? Like when I should be enjoying life, I'm worrying about what's going to happen to these grown folks, right? my husband being graceful enough, he didn't necessarily call me out on it then, but he's like, okay. Because what he was thinking I was having like this thing where I couldn't be away from my mom. That wasn't it. It was, I was worried about these grown people being able to take care of themselves. But then also, again, it's a mortgage. So it's my credit on the line. I'm also worried about this too. Like, what? So so hey Ravina, thanks for the beautiful comment. But anyway, so I'm like, oh my God, what am I gonna do? Right? So again, about to get married, right? My husband is like, whoa, let's start looking for houses. But I'm hesitant. So he's like, okay, well, what if we, because the house had a basement. So he's like, well, what if we, turn the basement into like a living space so we can live there, maybe like 2 years. And then, eventually then everybody had their stuff together and we sell the house. So we invest in turning the basement into a livable, place for us, right? But again, y'all, this is the thing. Like I was embarrassed about until I started talking to my friends because they're like, "Wait a minute. So you mean to tell us like your name is on the loan, you paying the mortgage, and you don't sleep in the master bedroom, right?" And I was like, no, I don't. Like my mom got the master. Like, blew people mind. But again, this is how much manipulation and how much I love my mom, I guess, right? And so like literally early in the year before I had Empress, all right. So this time last year, as a matter of fact, because it's almost coming on a year now. So early in the year, this time I had Empress. Oh, so wait, I'm skipping y'all. So again, family drama ensued. So basically, my husband came in as a change agent, right? Because he's like, well, wait a minute, like, why don't these folks have a job? Like, why are you and me the only people working in this house? I'm not understanding this. Nobody has disabilities, nothing. Like, what is going on? And one thing about a grown man, especially, is grown man say, I'm not about to take care of your grown brother who older than me. And again, I don't blame him because I was never trying to take care of my brother. But it'll be one of those things where if I try to tell my brother to get out the house, my mom would be like, oh, so you put me out too? And I'm like, huh? I never said that, mom. What are you talking about? It'd be like, yo, craziness, right? And the only thing I ever asked my brother to do while he was there, I'm like, listen, if you're gonna live with me, and this is if you any grown person, right? If you friend, relationship, if somebody is living with you, you do expect them to pay some form of rent, right? Yes, Ramina, period, right? So I would be like, hey, brother, like, what's going on with your life? Like, you're not working. And again, listen, shout out to everybody who smoke. I don't judge people who smoke, but looking at my brother, it killed all his motivation. I'm talking about all the thing you want to do is just smoke and get high and ride around with friends. And again, the luxury, right? And that's the thing that kind of pissed me off because I'm like, I never had the luxury of being able to just do what I want to do. Even at a young age. I told y'all I was breaking by the time I was 14 years old. Exactly, Benny. He ain't disabled. No. So I'm like, oh man. Okay. So again, like y'all don't understand how the reaction videos got me through a lot of this stuff that has been going on for years. So I'm like, okay, man. Again, he's 35 years old. He got two daughters, right? But again, when your kids don't live with you, I feel like the responsibility don't got to be there. It's not there, really. Honestly, I'm sorry. It's out of sight, out of mind. Like he probably seen his daughters twice a year. When they would come down, my mom would be responsible for all of that, right? So basically, grandma was really dad, just to be honest. So anyway, like every time, and my brother, he's the oldest. So every time I would confront him, my mom would always insert herself as though I was talking to her. And I'm like, what? Mom, this ain't got nothing to do with you. Like I didn't have no problem with my mom staying there. I didn't have no problem with buy my mom nothing. I didn't have no problem with if I was working, my mom wasn't working, even though my mom could work. Like I didn't have no problem with that, right? So anyway, hit the road, Jack. Yes, I love this thriller pet theme. So anyway, fast forward, boom, right? Pressure again, graceful husband. He's like, you know what, baby, let's just, try to, because again, y'all, I was always on loyalty, like loyalty to family, right? Like everybody's in it. And I realized, no, it's not everybody's in it. It's just you. Right? So pressure, he's like, okay. Because I'm not really telling him how I feel, what's really going on. But he sees stuff. So, and again, that's like the years of like manipulation, or also I would use the word shame, right? Because you don't tell people this kind of, it's embarrassing. Like what? Like you mean tell me grown people live with you and they don't pay no bills, right? Or y'all listen, I was so generous when I was working some of the jobs. I felt like Yvette in Baby Boy, because sometimes I used to let my mama drop me off in my own Jeep that I paid for. My mom would drop me off and then come pick me up sometimes. You know what I mean? Crazy, right? But again, I felt like I was being a good daughter, right? So literally, y'all, everything my mama asked me for, I did it without nothing. That's including my brother stay there every time. So anyway, when this happens, you start to feel some type of way, right? Because at the end of the day, I'm like, well, okay, I come home, these people not doing nothing. I get up, these people not doing nothing. Now, granted, my mom would, clean the house, she would cook dinner, do laundry. So my mom was making that play of, I'm going to make myself useful. And again, I didn't necessarily have a problem with my mom. It was more so my brother. So anyway, what time would you say mama feeling guilty because she knew she let your brother get away with doing nothing? So anyway, um, so we get married and we redo the basement. And again, right, I moved out of my bedroom from upstairs, not the main suite, not the master, my little room. I moved from it. And I go down to the basement, right? Again, it's like, what? Again, if I was telling my story to somebody else, I'd be like, y'all, she tripping. She stupid, right? I would be calling myself stupid. So anyway, we probably stayed there for maybe 4 months, right? We probably put like $20,000 into remodeling this basement, right? To make it a living space for us. And things just hit ahead, right? So it's like my mom's feeling some type of way because I got married, right? And then like my husband, like y'all know pressure. And he's like, he tried to talk to my mom about my brother, right? He like, well, mama, like, why he ain't working? We trying to make this a family thing. We had no problem, like, paying the mortgage, but if able-bodied people ain't contributing, somebody getting taken advantage of. And he's like, at the end of the day, y'all been taking advantage of my wife, and I'm not going to continue to let that happen. So one Sunday morning, y'all is so stupid, but this is how stuff festers, right? So y'all ever hear those stories where like the sister and the stabbed her brother over a piece of steak or something? One thing I have learned is that grown siblings should not live together. Period. It's just too much, right? So one morning, we're upstairs eating breakfast, and my mom come in the kitchen, and I said, "Good morning, Mom." You know what I mean? Like, but apparently, Mama didn't hear me, right? So my mom just starts snapping. She's like, "Oh, y'all just don't say nothing. I'm like, huh, Ma, I just said good morning to you. But y'all, this is the thing. Every time over the years, because it was, I think, a 5 year period, whenever I would say, like, basically when I would get fed up, right? Again, like my brother, again, I'm not a smoker. I don't have anything against people who smoke, but I felt like in the house that I paid for, if I'm sneezing and I can't go to sleep because of your smoke, I'm gonna say something, right? And I've asked you, like, please don't smoke in the house. But again, this is my house, y'all. So you know what I mean? Like, why am I begging? Please don't smoke in the house. So anytime where again, you just get, and that's right, Ravina. I had to learn to set boundaries. I had none. So anytime where I would just get pissed off, enough is enough. I'm pulling up like, and it's going down. And every time I would be like, you need to leave, you need to get out. This is my house. Anytime I said the word, this is my house, it was like I was committing a cardinal sin or something. Like it was blasphemous. You know what I mean? And the thing is, y'all, like it was never a quote unquote family house. Because if it was a family house, everybody would have been paying bills. I was the one paying the bills. You understand what I'm saying? I was the one who was working long hours. I was the one who I could do what I want to do, right? Like y'all could go live y'all best life. Go out, do what y'all want, go come in, come out. But I had to be regimented, getting up, going to work. Like I was paying the bills. Like I felt like I was like a 40-year-old man who was taking care of like two kids. You know what I mean? Or well, honestly, my sisters were there too, but they were underage. You know what I mean? So it was just a lot put on me, and I felt like nobody understood where I was coming from, and it was crazy to me because I'm like, well, don't they always say like don't bite the hand that feeds you? But like it was like these folks were snapping on me, and I'm like, well, dang, like and again, I'm not that type of braggadocious person. But when enough was enough, I'd be like, y'all, like I'm the one paying the bills. You know what I'm saying? Like, period. Well, what? Like, if I ask for anything, I'm thinking, okay, people gonna cooperate. But it was like every time I asked for anything, it was always met with resistance. And this Sunday morning, it was Saturday, it was Sunday, it was some weekend morning. Things got ratchet, right? I don't know if y'all ever seen. It's a scene of Knots Landing. I think if I got them, I'll post it. And things got ratchet in the cul-de-sac between Gary and Valine, right? Well, things got ratchet in I don't live in no cul-de-sac, but it got ratchet on the quiet street, right? So next thing you know, my mom is yelling. My little sister, she starts sending my husband text messages. Well, like she became a gangster. I'm thinking my brother's talking. It's her. She cussed him out. I never heard the girl curse in my life. But like, what is going on? So literally, it's like they had a lot of hate and hatred for him because he came in asking questions like, well, why y'all not working? And the thing is, I will always ask my brother, like, every 3 months, like, okay, when you get a job, what's going on? Are you looking for a job? And when I'm asking that, I'm doing too much. How you doing too much? When you asking somebody like, hey, what's going on with your life? But I wasn't only asking him that for like money, which I never got, but I was also asking him that because this is my big brother. And I'm like, I just see you throwing your life away. Like literally you just smoke and drink and do whatever it is you do every day. Like you just really you've been a bum. I don't like that because I know you better. But it's like I met with getting cussed out. You know what I'm saying? It's like dang, yeah. And I'm not even that type of person. You know, like why am I the villain, right? And that's the thing I don't understand. But I do understand now when the good guy, right, or the good girl really do become the villain because when you don't do what people want you to do, oh, they don't like you no more, right? So fast forward, y'all. That Sunday morning, my mom get mad because she talking about we didn't say good morning. And I promise y'all, I put my hand on the Bible right now. I said good morning, mom. Like I said it. She just didn't hear me. So anyway, next thing you know, the whole family, right? They want to come cussing out Pressure. They want to start cussing me out, right? I'm his wife. Y'all know he's not having that. I'm over here just crying because I'm like, and I'm not even no crybaby, but I'm like, what is going on? Like, what is going on? But I'm realizing now this needed to happen, right? Because for some reason I was scared to have the conversation with my mom about like, well, mom, like, why you not working, right? Because my mom was a housewife, and when her and my dad separated, that is literally like I always say it. I became the man of the house, and it wasn't necessarily. It was like, and I've been dealing with this, right? Because it's kind of like, did I put myself in this situation to be taken advantage of, or what, right? Because I felt like I was doing things out of necessity, right? Like literally, it's like, okay, I'm tired of not being able to watch TV, go on the internet, right? That's how I got my first job, because the internet and the cable kept on getting cut off. And I'm like, what? Y'all know I like pop culture. I'm like, man, nah. Yeah, so that's how I ended up getting my first job. But then from there, again, family, I was always just contributing, looking out for people, looking out for people. But again, nobody looked out for me, right? Like that's what it boiled down to. And I realized that, like, when you are the one who is dependable, responsible, it's easy for people to start taking advantage of you, but then you feel like, oh, I'm living this family code of loyalty. So you realize at some degree, you're like, well, dang, like I'm giving, but nobody not giving me nothing. You know what I mean? And it's not necessarily about financial things. It's about like just again, I could just ask for anything. And it's one of those things where you kind of almost look to see like if you were me, or not even if you was me, but if I'm putting myself out on the line for you, I expect for you to do the same. And when that don't happen, you hurt. You're like, well, dang, right? So anyway, police get called, y'all. It's very ratchet, right? So the police get called, and from there, by the time that bit blow up happened, um, I ended up leaving my own house. Right, so this is crazy, y'all. This is the level of craziness that's happened. So, and this is the thing that my husband was looking at me crazy, like, what? Why you just can't tell them to leave your house, right? And for the life of me, the police, y'all. Yes. For the life of me, I could not tell them like to leave my house. You know what I mean? Like, even it was my house, deed, everything. You know what I mean? Like I just couldn't. It's like every time I was trying to have the conversation with my mom, I would get tongue tied and anxious. It was weird, y'all. And never in my life would I have said that I was scared of my mom, but something was happening, right? For me not to be able to express how I felt. So we end up leaving, and what we end up doing is really stupid, because really it's like we put ourselves in debt for no reason. So we ended up refinancing that house so we could get a down payment, or have enough money for the down payment money that we already had to get another house, right? So at this point, it's like, okay, well, we got two properties. Okay. So some people look at that and say, like, well, like, and this is under 30. You know what I mean? Like, some people look at this and be like, oh, this is amazing, right? Okay. To a degree, like, yeah, that's cool. Okay, I guess I had good credit and stuff like that, right? Combined with Precious buying power, right? You were able to get a nice house. Y'all seen it. The house we sold that time, right? Y'all remember the house. So that's cool, but guess what? My name is still on the house that they in, and they never paid bills before. So am I supposed to sleep well at night knowing that my credit is on the line every month, right? Because they have just not been known for paying no bills. So it's like stress. So with all this being said, ironically though, my mom gets a job, And I'm shocked, like, huh? Like literally, my whole childhood, my mom never worked. So all of a sudden we leave. Guess what, y'all? My mom get a job. She get her a little. It's not a Jeep Cherokee, but it's under whatever it is under the Cherokee. She get one of them things, right? She paying her. Well, no. So here, keep this out. So we leave that house. I'm still paying for the cable and internet at the other house. I'm still paying my mom's cell phone bill. I'm still paying my mom car insurance. So I'm still paying this stuff. Okay. So again, now I'm pregnant. Nobody seems to care, about that. Like, oh, we are about to introduce life into the world. They just still want us to be paying. Like I told y'all, none of my family bought Empress anything. Period. Like y'all have bought Empress more stuff than my family. And again, it's not necessarily about the materialistic things. No, but it's kind of like it's sad. You know what I mean? So it's sad. And then so again, I'm still paying this stuff out when we move to our house, right? Our house, even though the other house is my house. You know what I'm saying? So this time last year, speeding things up, right? We reach out to my mom, and again, I'm pregnant with Empress. The pregnancy is looking good, right? Because I'm in the third trimester, so we're feeling good about it now. And that's when I like released the registry and stuff like that. Because again, I was telling y'all we was anxious before, so I didn't really necessarily. That's why I didn't tell y'all I was pregnant this time around, right? It took y'all were kind of figuring out in the comments and things, and finally, when it became visible enough, I was like, okay, well, we can say it. But again, still anxious, y'all, all the way up until the delivery, right? Like until I seen them slap Empress on me, I was still very much anxious. So again, my family wasn't really empathetic to the loss of the first baby, right? I didn't talk to my mom for 2 weeks. It was weird. It was almost like she, I guess, didn't want me to be pregnant, even though I was married. Like, I don't know, but she didn't talk to me for 2 weeks, y'all. Like, literally, we sent my mom, we sent both my mom and Precious parents. We sent them like pictures of the pregnancy, like of the little stick, the pregnancy test, like the positive. And my mom did not respond, y'all, at all. Like crickets. Noop, 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 noop. And so after that, she did call me for 2 weeks. And keep in mind now, this is a woman who I talk to every single day, multiple times a day. Yeah, so imagine how I felt, right? And I really think, I don't know, you never know what happens during a miscarriage, but I was extremely saddened by that. And I don't know. I think maybe that played into what ended up happening. I'm not sure, but I just did not expect for my mom to act like that. You know what I mean? And when again you don't get that kind of support, it's like, hey, what in the world? So anyway, pregnant with Empress. Oh, let me back up a little bit. So I'm pregnant with Empress, and my mom started hitting me with, "Hey, you need to put my name on the deed to this house." And I'm like, why? Why would I put your name on the deed? I'm confused. You know what I mean? And this is in October. I had Empress in February. I remember just like it was yesterday. And I told her, I'm like, no, I don't feel comfortable with that. Like, I've been paying the mortgage the whole time, but by then, once we had moved out, my mom had started paying the mortgage. Right? Right. I was paying the mortgage for 5 years. When we moved out, my mom started paying the mortgage. Right? Again, am I being taken advantage of or not? So, so yeah, she pressured me about this, and I'm like, no, I just don't feel comfortable doing that. You know what I mean? Like, I got the house off of my own. Didn't have to have a cosign or anything like that. So, and again, I've been putting money into the house, so it's my house. But that's the thing. It's like my family did not want to respect that it was my house. It was kind of weird because it's kind of like, are y'all mad because it's my house? I did not ask to buy this house. You know what I mean? Like my mom came to me with this, like, oh, we need someplace to live. And I'm like, okay, well, for the betterment of the family. But again, I wasn't thinking about my own future. You know what I mean? And then that's sometimes I think parents make that kind of mistake with their children because it's like really my mom put like a financial burden on me. I didn't have the language to say that back then, but that's what it was, right? And I hadn't even started my own family, you know what I mean? Like nothing. But when I start my own family, it's a problem now. This is a problem now, right? So I'm asking my mom, like, well, what? What's going on? Like, are you think I'm gonna have some complications in childbirth? Like, why do you want your name on this deed so bad? But really, my mom is concerned, like, oh, you got your own family now, like you have your own baby. And it's weird though, because it's kind of like, again, what am I? Am I a cash cow or not? You know what I'm saying? Like, what am I good for as your daughter, right? And am I, a good daughter only when I am doing what you want me to do? Because honestly, y'all, that was the first time in my life where I had told my mom, like, I'm not doing it. I went against it, period. And according to my little brother, she was calling him, having conversations about it. She just did not like that. I was like, no, mom, sorry, I'm not putting your name on the deed. So anyway, I don't know. Again, intentions, right? So not sure if my mom was even like legitimate, genuine about this pregnancy with Empress or not. So, and around this time last year, right? Um, Pressure threw me a surprise party, and my family was there. I was surprised, right? But it wasn't like we was beefing. It was just still like cordial. But ever since that miscarriage, right? When I didn't speak to my mom for those 2 weeks, our relationship had changed, right? I would talk to her probably 10 minutes out the day, right? She would call me in the morning, and that would be like really the only time we would talk, right? Because she never could explain to me, or she gave me some weak excuse like, oh, I never received the text or the picture. But it's kind of like, well, why would you call me for 2 weeks? Like, this is weird because we talk every day. You know what I mean? Like, it just wasn't adding up, right? So, but keep in mind, y'all, I'm still paying, again, I'm a phone bill, the internet cable over there, my mom car insurance. Like, I'm still paying for stuff even though I'm not living in the house, right? So, all right. This time last year, let me get to this point. This time last year, I bet y'all was like, whoa, we didn't know we was gonna hear this kind of stupid family drama. Exactly. I feel like I'm on a reality show. So this time last year, um, we decide, right? Well, okay, so let's take it a step back a little bit. So yeah, no, we started the business. We started the business, what was it, about 2 years ago? Yeah, it was 2 years ago. Or was it 2 years ago? I can't even remember. Yeah, it's about 2 years ago. Or a year and a half ago, whatever. So we started the business in like July, right? And so yeah, we started the business in July 2022, right? So I was pregnant then, right? And I had started shorting a little bit because I think was it Darnell who called me out? It's like, oh, I see baby energy. But anyway, I was pregnant, but I hadn't told y'all yet, even though I knew I was pregnant. And we had started the business, right? The moving business. And when we started the moving business again, keeping family in mind, my older brother, we like, oh, this would be great for him because we can use him, as part of the crew. Then hopefully, like he can get his own team, and like we're thinking as business owner, like oh, we can expand the fleet, and then like he can, own that truck, and then we can own this truck, and just keep it working. Anyway, we get our first job. Tell me why he showed up 3 hours late, y'all. Very first job, very first customer. Then after that, he would become kind of unreliable, right? So it's like if he was coming to work, quote unquote, I would have to like cash out him gas money, what I mean, for him to get there. Like it's crazy, right? And when he would come, it's like he's coming, y'all smelling like smoke, and be like, dude, we're trying to establish a brand here. Like, we don't want that kind of reputation because you're going into people's homes. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't want people judging our company. We already black. You know what I mean? Like, we don't want that kind of reputation. So they ain't tell you. So you knew it's gonna be unreliable, right? So I deep down inside I knew too, but again, it's like this your brother, your big brother on top of that. So you trying to like, okay, kind of don't let me down, but it happens every time. So anyway, like it became sporadic where we just moved on from him, right? Like we end up hiring people. And anyway, he would call on, be like, "Hey, y'all got a job or something I could work, right? Boom, boom, boom." So I think like he had got in trouble. Some of his license, he had a ticket or warrant, something stupid. And he needs some money, right? He needs some money. So we like, okay, well, again, give him a second chance or a third chance by this time, fourth, fifth. We're like, okay, we got a job this Saturday. Either you could come to our house and leave with, the box truck or meet us at the job site. So he opted, of course, to meet at the job site. So he called us, y'all. We ain't called him. Tell me why the man didn't show up. What? But this is what I mean, the kind of inconsideration, right? Again, we small business, people are moving, right? It's a lot of moving parts when you moving people. And so it's just like, what? But again, we didn't get no phone call, no I'm sorry, no text, no nothing. You know what I mean? It's like, and you the one who reached out to us. But in my family, that type of behavior was like almost praised in a sense, right? I'm calling my mom, like, yeah, what's going on? And of course, mama know what's going on, but she kicking it to me like, oh, I don't know what's going on. Yeah. So, and my brother's so irresponsible. It's to the point where you call my mom, like anybody call my mom and be like, what's going on with him? Like almost like my mom is spokesperson, so to speak, right? Because she's been enabling this behavior. So anyway, start the business. Um, and then I get pregnant. Well, I'm already pregnant. And then like the job I was working, we had a layoff, right? So with that being said, the only money we had coming in was from the business. And this is a newly formed moving company. And we going against like national brands like 2 Men in a Truck and college hunks, right? Like these are companies that have major marketing money to spend. But God, right? He just blessed us to be able to kick it and move it. You know what I mean? So with that being said, the moving business was able to cover our expenses, like basically for the rest of my pregnancy. And the thing is though, it's like you remember when people, aunties, uncles, they call you for money and you just like, yeah, sure, boom. And it's not like I was looking necessarily for them to give us money, but it's just the thought of checking in, like, hey, are y'all okay? We know you pregnant, we know you have a baby, we know y'all just starting a business. The consideration has just never been there. You know what I mean? And yeah, so anyway, this time last year, I'm back to that point. This time last year. So we like, okay, well, we bought a house here. You guys have seen this property before, right? We have a long driveway. But we bought that on purpose because we knew we wanted to start the moving business and we wanted to be able to park the truck on our property. So to do that, we had to buy a property that had some acres on it because in Georgia, you have to have at least 1.5, or I think maybe one. But you have to have at least 1 acre and able to park a commercial vehicle in your driveway, right? So we sell our house, right? Y'all remember that process. So that house, we get this house. And we get this house, right? But when we buy this house, we don't know I'm pregnant. So we buy this house and love this house. We love this property. It's very peaceful. But it's kind of like, okay, well, we got a baby. And this house is actually smaller than the house that we sold, right? Because we kind of gave up some of the square footage for the acreage, if that makes sense. So we like, okay, well, we find out we're pregnant. The pregnancy is looking positive. We look up the school systems. They're not really like the best. It's like, okay, don't know if we want baby Empress going to school down here and all this stuff. But either way, we like, okay, well, what if we, go ahead and sell both houses, right? The house that I left, that my family's living in, and then the house that we're living in now. Why don't we sell both houses, right? Um, Mom, sisters, we all, come together under one roof. We have the space, right? Because with the price that basically both mortgages were, we could have gotten a house with more square footage to make sense, right? So this is kind of like the irritating part, and this is going back to what I'm talking about. Like your family don't respect you as an adult. So call my mom, and she's on board with it. Was like, yeah, like let's sell both properties. But the thing is, I didn't need my mom's permission, but I still went to her to get permission, if that makes sense, right? And I kind of kicked myself in the butt for that because it's like, why was I giving my mom so much control over my life and the decisions that I wanted to make? You know what I mean? Yeah, hold on. Give me 1 second. Let me check on baby April real quick. Hold on. All right, y'all. She good. She good. All right, y'all. Well, yeah, I'm giving jumpsuit realness today. Y'all see a little bit. Anyway, all right. So, and yeah, I finally get y'all see our girl losing them pounds. Okay, listen, y'all. I was scared about them pounds, man. I'm like, hey, ass, what is this? But okay, back to this family saga drama. And the reason why I'm explaining this to y'all for who just joining is because I want you to understand like why the consistency of uploads and stuff like this, like what's been happening. It's been just a lot. So thank y'all. Okay, y'all love the jumpsuit. Thanks. So anyway, again, be like, okay, why don't we like basically just consolidate, right? Get one big house, everybody under one roof. Mom, you can get a house that got a mother-in-law suite, right? You got your own private entrance. Cool, cool. My mom initially she's on board with this. So January roll around and we get the realtor and we need to sell both properties, before we can buy the other house, right? Or at least one of the properties. So the property that we left is more desirable in the sense of it's more so in the city, right? Because the property we live at now, it's kind of country, y'all, a little bit. I'll say that. So anyway, we're like, okay, well, we're gonna sell this house, and then wow, that house has been sold. Either mom, sisters, y'all come down here, stay with us, or do whatever. So we like, yeah, brother can't come though. You know what I'm saying? So hold on, Bright Point said we knew something had to be the internet upload slow. Up speed couldn't be that slow. Yes, yeah, it was country, y'all. Cause when I was up at the other house, boom, boom, boom. Okay, down here, y'all, I'm on 25 Mbps. Okay. So anyway, and they talking about if we're gonna get fiber, they want us to pay $10,000 and then still pay the internet monthly. Tripping. Anyway, that's not happening. So anyway, at the end of the day, when looking back, I shouldn't have to explain to my mom what we were trying to do. Period. Right? Like, and this is what I told her later on when we started having these discussions because I'm like, growing up, I don't remember you ever consulting grandma about when we want to move, when you want to buy something. Like you just did it. It's kind of like, mom, you just been a barrier for no reason. And I felt like at the point when we told her, yeah, like you and the girls, yeah, like y'all can come and out my brother. She felt, of course, she felt some type of way. But again, my brother is grown, y'all. He's grown man, 2 children. You know what I mean? Like, and the thing is, you know, now remember I told y'all about the ratchetness that had went down, right? Months before. But again, this is how graceful pressure is. He's like, okay, I'm willing to make amends with your family, right? But he's like, I'm not gonna be disrespected and they're not gonna keep trading our pockets. He's like, at the end of the day, I married you. I did not marry your family to take care of them. And listen, if the shoe was on the other foot, y'all, I don't know how I would have reacted if pressure mama and brother was just mooching off of us. You know what I mean? Like, I listen, I would be like, baby, these folks gotta go. You know what I mean? And I felt like he was graceful with it for as long as he could be. So anyway, my mom is like, no, this my house. I ain't leaving. And I'm like, Mom, this not your house. You know what I mean? Like, this ain't your house. This ain't your house. And things just got ugly, y'all. So basically, my mom was trying to, what's the expression I want to use? Little kid me, right? So I'm like, I'm telling her, like, Mom, you know what I'm saying? Like, I have my own family now. I'm a wife. I'm a mother. I have my own daughter. If I would never want my daughter in the situation I'm in right now. You know what I mean? Like, I'm talking to my mom like an adult, y'all. And um like again, I'm just trying to. And I think y'all know my personality enough. Like I'm not a disrespectful person. You know what I'm saying? Like I barely curse. Um, in real life conversations, like I barely cuss y'all. Like I'm just super respectful, especially like when it comes to my mom. I've always just been overly respectful, and like I told y'all, I have always done my mom has wanted me to do. So I'm just like, Mom, like like, what do you listen? And the deal was, Pressure was like, look, you tell your mom, when we sell that house, we'll get her some of the proceeds from the selling. Now I'm like, what? Okay, like I ain't agree to talk about split some money with mom like that. Cause again, for 5 years straight, I was paying that money. You know what I mean? It is my house, right? So anyway, but again, I'm like, okay, baby, if you want to do that, I'm not gonna, behold this money from my mom. But so yeah, we tell her that, right? And she's still like, "This is my house. I'm not leaving. I want to get old in this house." And I'm like, well, Mom, at the end of the day, you knew I was gonna get married, right? And even if you didn't know I was gonna get married, eventually you should know like I would want to move on with my life, right? From family. Like, isn't that what most adults do or most people do, right? Like you grow up and you move away from home, right? Like, but in this case, I was the home. It was just weird if y'all understand this web, right? It was just weird, right? Because I was the home. It was kind of like I was in a parental role, right? When I shouldn't have been in one. So anyway, even with that being said, so we trying to find a solution. So we even considering um refinancing, right? The house again. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, oh, we have two houses still. And it's like insane. Why would we do that? You know what I mean? Why do we keep making or putting ourselves in these predicaments so they could be comfortable? But we the ones who always having to run and leave and as they say, be the bigger people. You know what I mean? And it's a line. Shout out to everybody who watched All My Children. It's this speech. Erica Kane does a monologue. It's like 20 minutes long. Susan Lucci should have won an Emmy for this. And she's talking about like the snakes and they will squeeze the life out of you. You know what I mean? And she talked about that. Like you try to take the high road. And what happened? People don't respect that. They think you weak. And my mom was just continuing to try to chump me out, chump me out, chump me out. And it's like, dang, mom, like I'm trying to reason with you, but why, y'all? That's the question, though. That's why I'm trying to get my mom to see, like, why am I in this predicament when I'm trying to reason with you? Like, mom, who else do you know? Your friends, who else you know? Their kid is paying their bills for them, right? Like my mom had sweet, and we told my mom, we like, well, mom, listen, like, 'cause my mom for years, quote unquote, she wanted Rabina, you know what I'm talking about? It was like the weak and the petty. It's a great scene with Susan Lucci. Like she be snapping. Like the mean and the meager. It is great. But anyway, I'm like, Mom, I'm trying. And that's the thing, y'all ever been in a situation where it's like you are trying to reason with somebody, but they just not reasoning with you, right? It's like everything you're saying to them is illogical, and you're trying to get them to see like this whole situation is illogical, right? It's like, why am I having this conversation with you, Mom? So we even then try to say, well, Mom, let's see if you can qualify to, let's see what you can qualify for, right? In regards to getting a home loan, right? Let's see if you could buy the house yourself. Let's see, you know what I mean? And of course, she couldn't buy the house herself because she didn't have enough working history and all of that. And so, but again, y'all see, we still trying to think of different scenarios to where she and they can be comfortable. You know what I mean? And so we exhausted all means of exhausted all means. And so my husband, then, he says, let's ask your mom one more time. He's like, let's see, if she's willing to get a larger house, have the mother-in-law suite. She could focus on getting her real estate license, right? We won't ask her to pay no more than $200. Where do they do that at, y'all? Where is somebody paying $200 at for rent? Where? So my mom's like, uh, I need 7 days to think this over. We're like, huh? 7? What? So, but before this, she telling me, "Oh, I'm gonna be on the street. You trying to like again?" I'm slowly becoming the villain because she's starting to use language as to I'm trying to do stuff to them. You know what I mean? You trying to hurt us. You trying to take away our house. You trying to put us on the street. I'm like, I'm not. I'm telling you, we want to get a bigger house. Move in. Like that is what I'm saying. But y'all know how moms can be like they start putting words in your mouth or saying that you said something like, my, that's not what I'm saying, right? So again, I just can't get through to my mom. I can't get through to her. And so, I have a younger brother. And yeah, gaslighting. That's it. I mean, I didn't know this language at the time. So I have a younger brother, and my younger brother, we're a year apart. And I remember sometimes I used to get mad with him because he wasn't quote unquote in the struggle with us. You know what I mean? Like my younger brother, now looking back in hindsight, he had sense because the opportunity that he got to leave, he left, right? That's what I should do. But no, I'm trying to be family. So this thing happened as to where I'm trying to talk to my mom, and mom want to cuss me out and hang up the phone in my face. And I'm like, no, no, like I'm not a little kid no more. You know what I'm saying? Like I done had a whole baby. I'm a married woman. You're not just about to hang up the phone in my face, especially when I'm trying to do something to help you. You know what I'm saying? Like, so my mom get mad, and mom start calling me this, that, right? I become evil, and again, just all of these negative words become associated with me. And so I can imagine what she's telling the external family, right? You know what I'm saying? Y'all know how that is. Y'all wouldn't believe how she did me. You know what I mean? So anyway, we like 7 days. That's ridiculous. Like either you telling us you're gonna be sleeping in your car or we trying to give you shelter. You don't need 7 days to think it's over. You know what I mean? Like my mom, I understood at that point in time, she wanted to be in control. And I understood the power dynamics, right? Which I didn't understand that before. Exactly, time. Even to when I originally bought the house, right? My mom established that power dynamic of, even though it was my house, I was paying the mortgage, she still got the main suite. You understand what I'm saying? That was a power dynamic being established that my young brain didn't really think about because I was so acquiescent, right? Shout out to Mariah Carey who taught me that word. And what's that song? It's a rap. Right? I was also acquiescent. I was, right? I was just, yeah, okay, mom. Yeah, anything you say, mom. Yeah, I mean? Like my mama could tell me to jump off a cliff, y'all. Okay, mom. Yeah. But looking back at this story, I always wonder why didn't my mom try to get her name on the deed when I bought the house? Because she was at the closing. That would have been the best time for her to be like, okay, let me go ahead and put my name on the deed. I would have been like, okay, because I didn't know I was not the wiser, right? I was green. I would have been like, okay. But I think, again, that was God because he knew that this situation was going to happen. Imagine if my mom's name was on the deed. It would be worse than it is now, right? So, y'all, it's a long story. I've been talking a long time about this crap. So, but I had to live through it, y'all. Live through it. And can y'all imagine just having a baby and how draining, or being pregnant, how draining this is, right? And starting a business, how draining this is, dealing with this. So, hey, John. So, anyway, enough became enough because they're like, okay, at the end of the day, mom, you are trying to have this power dynamic. You want to call the shots, but it's like, mom, I'm sorry to tell you, you don't have the cards to call the shot. Like this is my house. You know what I mean? And it's like again, I'm over explaining myself, and you know, this lady called me, right? And she said she seen our box truck out on the road. And she seen our box truck and she's like, God told her to call the number. And she's like, God told her she had, some on her heart. And she was like, I never talked to this lady all day in my life. She's like, I understand you going through a situation in which you feel like you have to keep over explaining yourself to people. She's like, you don't gotta over explain yourself to nobody. Like God know your heart, you doing the right thing. And I was like, what? Goosebumps. Goosebumps because again, I just coming from all angles, like, I'm gonna do this. And then, when you're in a situation like this, you start thinking, like, am I crazy? Right? Like, am I crazy? What's going on? But then I just knew this situation wasn't normal because I never heard my friends talking about, yeah, I've been trying to convince my mom to do this, or I told my mom we were doing this. It's like they were grown and they did what they wanted to do. So it's like it's crazy. And Eric, you're right. Like living through it has made me stronger. And long story short, y'all, it got crazy. So eventually, and y'all know the housing market as well. Like it hasn't been that good, really. And we sold the house. I feel like at the right time because we got what we put in it. Because remember, y'all, we had spent $20,000 on remodeling the house, and we didn't even stay the whole year. Right? So it's just crazy. And end up again being transparent with my mom the whole time, over communicating. Like, listen, mom, this process is moving forward. Either you're gonna get on board or you're not. And y'all, listen, things got so bad. I started Googling, like, mom won't get out of my house. And I was surprised when I seen it was people like me. I'm like, so I'm not the only one going through this. So anyway, we ended up having to go through basically an eviction process because my mom just would not leave. Like She would give me a date. I would go over to the house, still a whole house, nothing is packed, nothing. And we put that deal back on the table for us to get a bigger house. And she's like, "Oh, I would never want to live with y'all. I would never. No, no, no." And then she even said it. She said, "What do I look like living in the basement?" And y'all, that struck a chord with me. I was like, "Huh? What do you look like living in the basement? Tell me how I owned a house and I was living in the basement." And like the craziness of it all, right? I was like, "You saying you too good to live in the basement, but I lived in the basement in the house that I paid the mortgage for that was in my name." Yeah, like I gave you the master bedroom, but you too good to live in the basement. Crazy, y'all, crazy. And there were a lot of nice houses that we found that were compatible to the situation, that we wanted. And again, y'all, my mom would not budge. So start the eviction process. So before you start the eviction process, I sent her a 60-day notice. Let her know like, "Hey, we gonna put the house, because again, we want to put the house on the market." So let her know we're gonna be putting the house on the market, and of course that pissed her off. You know what I mean? Like, but again, you're not giving me nothing. Like I tried for 3 months. We tried to bargain with you. Like, "Mom, come on, let's get it back out of me." We tried to think about exploring refinancing the house so you could stay. You know what I'm saying? I was trying to still make accommodation and be so accommodating, but in looking back, it's like, "Well, Mom, what am I asking you to do that's so hard?" What is it? At the end of the day, if you don't want to stay with us, you can save enough money, get your own place. But again, we're giving you shelter, and we're not asking you to pay nothing but $200 a month. She didn't want to do it. And then I get my little sister. They sending me these long texts. I'm evil. They just own me, y'all. Like they just own me. They tell me I'm not their sister no more. Like, and it's crazy. But again, my other sister, she is what 20, 20, 22. So old enough to see the situation for what it is, but it's it's something that happens. And the only person I could think of who could explain it would be like Latoya Jackson. It's something that happens to children who are under their mother's thumb, so to speak, right? And again, y'all got a backstory. Remember, like again, good script for a movie. Like my mom came from. I grew up hearing my parents argue all the time because my dad was a constant cheater, right? Just cheated every week, it seemed like. And so, you know, I told y'all my mom was stay-at-home mom. So you get an attachment to your parent, especially the present parent, right? The one who actually like, oh, talks to the children and do things with the children, right? Like that becomes your parent. So when the other parent is hurting that parent, you don't like that other parent, right? You like, F that. Like, how you gonna hurt mom? She's so sweet and lovable. Like, how can you do this to her, right? And I believe that that is where a lot of that need for me came from. Well, again, it wasn't that I felt like I need to take care of my mom. No, it was I'm tired of the lights getting cut off. I'm tired of the water getting cut off. I'm tired. So if I gotta be here, I'm gonna make sure this stuff is paid. You know what I mean? So it was never my intention to take care of my family. It just became by means of me living with them, right? That they then benefited off of. I guess you can call it my ambition or my willingness to say I'm not going to live like this. Like I'm tired of this. I want better. And at the end of the day, literally, we had to end up going to court, right? And it's like, dang, who think they're gonna take their mom to court? You know what I'm saying? Like, and in the courtroom, my mom's trying to talk about General Hospital because I think shout out to everybody watch General Hospital. Bobby had just died. Yeah, Jackie Zimmerman. So yeah. Like my mom trying to pull at my heartstring again, cause again, y'all know I love pop culture. So she's like, "Dad, you seen Bobby died?" And I was like, "Yeah, that was messed up, right?" So I'm almost getting trapped, you know what I'm saying? But then I had to snap out of it, right? Because it's like, Ma, no, you cannot sweet talk me into doing what you want by, oh, let me talk about some stuff that you like, or like no. At the end of the day, I don't understand what was so hard for my mom. You know what I mean? And that really hurt me because it's like I gave so much for my family and to my family, and for my little sisters especially, be like, we just own you. You're not our sister no more. Like what? Yeah, I'm talking about crazy. So now it's been one of those things where I realized, and again, it's just crazy how life worked because I told y'all those 2 weeks I didn't talk to my mom after I got pregnant with the first baby. Um, she didn't talk to me, but I think again, like it was preparation. God was preparing me for this journey, right? In the sense of that made me stronger. That really made me strong because I was so sad and like, dang, why my mom not talking to me? That's crazy. Because I got pregnant, but I'm married. And even if I wasn't married, you wouldn't talk to your daughter for 2 weeks? You know what I mean? Like, what? And not only that, during this thing that happened as far as like the house process, I didn't feel bad though, because I felt like finally I can say all the things I have been wanting to say over the years. In my own house, I never felt like I had a voice, right? Every time I would say, I don't like this, I don't like that. They was telling me to shut up. I'm doing too much. People always telling you doing too much. I'm doing too much. How? So, y'all, that's what's been going on, right? Like, ah, that's what's been going on. This has been a lot of the family's gas, and again, I didn't have that language. You know what I mean? Like, it's easy to look at another person's situation and identify what's going on, but when you're in the situation, sometimes you can't see it or you don't want to see it, right? Because I didn't want to believe my mom was being manipulative. I just didn't want to believe it. But then I'm like, well, yeah. Why is my mom asking me to put her name on the deed? What is this about? So and now I can laugh. You know what I mean? Like I can laugh now, but yeah, it was tough, y'all. And then of course, you kind of get a little sad during the holiday time because you're like, dang, like I never talked to my family since July, and I didn't tell y'all this. So how they left the house? Of course, they left the house in a mess, right? So my sister wrote on the wall. They left like a whole bunch of just junk in there. So again, we just had a baby. Now we got to pay to get these walls painted, get all this junk hauled out the house. You know what I mean? And then all of that, y'all, mistake I made. I still had bills over there in my name, like water bill, light bill. Tell me, y'all, why these bills had balances. Okay, like $500 here, $600 here. What? So I'm calling my mom like, so you wasn't paying the light bill? What's going on? So, of course, again, what you don't realize when you're young is, and I care about my credit now because I see what good credit can get you, right? And it's like, well, dang, all of this stuff is in my name. So at the end of the day, I'm still responsible for this. You know what I mean? Because you can't call the light company and be like, yeah, so I had been moved out the house like 2 years ago, but I let the lights and stuff stay on. But my mom asked me to do that, y'all. But now I'm like, did you ask me to do that because you didn't want to mess up your own stuff? You know what I'm saying? It is crazy. Yes, Will. That's what I'm trying to do. Like, I'm just trying to pour goodness into baby Empress. And I don't want her to feel like, number one, I'm ever like a crutch or a burden or like, again, I spent my teenage years working because I had to, right? If I wasn't working, I didn't want to be on the street again. You know what I mean? I didn't want to, and especially when you're a teenager, I wanted clothes, y'all. I'm gonna be honest. You know what I mean? Like I wanted clothes. I wanted to be able to go to school and look good and feel good about myself. And again, how was I gonna get that when our lights were constantly getting cut off? You know what I'm saying? The water was coming. How was I gonna get that? And so, I took the route of getting a job. And at that point, I was the only person working. My older brother didn't have a job then. He don't have a job now, from what I understand. So yeah, yeah, Ravina, that's what I had to realize though. Like my friend told me, she's like, protect your family. And when she said that to me, something clicked in me. Like, you're right, because at the end of the day, if I were to give in to my family, give them what they wanted, I would have been the one looking stupid. They was living their best life. They was doing what they wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? Like as long as I was paying the bills, they was all comfortable. Nobody was ever comfortable. Again, we left my house to go purchase another house. They were never uncomfortable. And again, that was a power play because I felt like looking back, my mom felt like, oh yeah, they left my house. You know what I'm saying? It's like this ain't gonna be your house, mom. What you saying? So it's crazy. And never would I have thought like, I had this toxic relationship with my family. But, people make comments to me every now and again. I'd be like, this is kind of like weird. You know what I'm saying? Like, this ain't normal. You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, but I will say, y'all, ever since like I stopped dealing with them, and even when I was, explaining to my mom how I felt just as a child, as a teenager, it was just met with resistance. Like, again, nothing I said mattered. Or, what people do to you when, you are showing them kindness and you being a good person. They say, oh, well, we didn't ask you to do that. But it's like, y'all didn't ask me to do that, but I needed to do that. Y'all didn't ask me to do that, but nobody said like, "Hey, here, let me help you." You know what I mean? Like that just really irked me because literally I gave 110% to my blood family, and I just don't feel like they gave that to me at all, y'all. Like I just don't, and it hurt me when again, like even cause they felt some type of way that I did tell them I had baby Empress. And I'm like, why would I want that negativity in the room when this new innocent child is coming to life? Like I didn't want to think about y'all and y'all not having no jobs. I didn't even want to think about that. You know what I mean? Like, I just wanted to have my baby, which I did. And so my mom was like petty, like, oh well, I guess she felt like, well, since you didn't tell me she was in labor, then I'm not gonna come see her. But the thing is, y'all, okay, here we go. I don't think I was weak in the moment, but it's like, can y'all hear me? Oh man, let's see what's going on. I got a phone call. Let me know if y'all can hear me. Can y'all hear me? Yes or no? Audio still messed up or not? Y'all can hear me? Okay, cool. So I'm gonna wrap this up, y'all, because I've been talking for a long time. But that's again, this is explaining things to y'all. This is explaining things to y'all. So I mean, I'd be like, dang, Empress was giving me life in this reaction, y'all. I barely had life to give. Okay, so anyway, y'all, I'm like, I got weak. I called my mom, right? Because I'm scared, right? I'm scared for my little baby, and some of my friends was like, "Your mama gonna try to use this to get back in your good graces to get you to drop the house issue," and she did just that, y'all. And the thing is, she was like, "Oh well," I'm thinking at least then she was gonna come to the hospital and see like her granddaughter, but she didn't, and I'm like, okay, that tell me everything I need to know. And then it was crazy because I had went to the house with the realtor to take pictures, and I was thinking like, okay, well maybe my mom gonna have like some boxes of pampers or something by the door, some little goodies for baby Empress. Nothing. So I was just like, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. And it's draining, y'all. It's draining. And you just lose so much focus. And again, do I have ill feelings toward my family? No, not at all. I love them. But I just refuse to be a victim any longer. I refuse to, and I didn't like to say that I was a victim, but Susie Carr, y'all know Susie who I interviewed from Will to Power. Susie said, Empress, you were abused. You know what I mean? I'm like, dang, Susie, you say it like that? Like it is what it is, because Susie couldn't believe what was going on. She's like, what? Like, what is going on? I'm like, yeah, just what's been going on, Susie. So So yeah, I just felt like I need to talk to y'all because I just want y'all to know kind of like what's been going on, why like the video's been inconsistent, and also along with that, Pressure had his own issue with his parents, so there are no grandparents involved with raising baby Empress. So basically, it's just us raising baby Empress. So, I had to learn how to be a mom, really, and just like, oh yeah, I'm responsible for baby Empress. You know what I mean? It's like, and that's why y'all see baby Empress, and I'm not mad at that because y'all know at the end of the day, again, like I said, a lot of y'all was with the journey the first time, and y'all was here for baby Empress, and a lot of y'all bought baby Empress stuff, that stuff that I still use to this day. Some stuff she's outgrown, of course, but I mean, when y'all see me feeding baby Empress in reaction, it is what it is. Like, I don't have no help, right? Pressure's out working, so it is what it is, and I'm not ashamed of that because man, y'all know what it is. It's the Impressionist. And baby Empress is y'all baby too, you know what I mean? So I don't feel ashamed or anything about that. It's just it is what it is. It's my life. And y'all right, because at the end of the day, it's like, am I sacrificing my peace just to deal with they toxicness, right? You know how sometimes you can just want people around you because it's familiar, right? But it's like, are these people bringing happiness to you, or are they causing strife? And I just, I just got tired of y'all. And I can say though, my life has been much happier. My marriage has been much happier, right? My blood pressure is back to normal since this whole situation is over with, y'all. Like, for real. And sometimes when I talk to my little brother, he could be like a trigger without him knowing, you know what I mean? Because like he could just tell me like of a past event, and I thought things was like this because my mom was saying this, but then behind the scenes found out mom was saying something else. I'm like, what? So mom was being fake too? Oh yeah, y'all. That's what it's been, y'all. But y'all, I appreciate y'all so much. Like I said, y'all don't realize just the blessing y'all have been to my life, and what a relief it is to be able to come to the community, talk to y'all, and again to see y'all be happy because again y'all seen all this, y'all seen this whole journey. So y'all see me without no kid, you know what I mean? And now I have a kid, so I get literally y'all been here with me, right? Y'all seen me start from the jungle, and I was just trying to get peace up in the jungle. Um, but yeah, y'all, my eyes have been open, and I just refuse to let anybody use me any longer. Like, no, I'm just not going to be that. And not only that, it's kind of like for the first time now in our marriage, we can do things how we want to do it. We don't got to ask permission or worry about other people. It's like we can finally just say, we want to do this, we want to do it. You know what I mean? So, yeah, y'all, that's been my life. So I just want to thank y'all. I felt like it was important for me to come and talk to y'all before the end of the year because yeah, it's just been a tough year. Like for real, y'all. Like this has been one of the most exciting, of course, because of the birth of my daughter, but it's also been one that literally broke me as well. So I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for joining the live. Now, we'll probably do another live before the end of the year. It's more lighter than this. You know what I mean? Like, this is kind of heavy. I ain't mean to hit y'all with that, but yeah, yeah. We can do some of that. Or being who is Lady Tiger? Now I gotta Google. I don't even know who this is. But yeah, yeah. I just like I said, I just wanted to talk to y'all because I felt like y'all been probably wondering, like, dang, like the Madonna journey, this junk is taking forever. What's going on? We've been in erotica for a year, right? What's going on with the pig, right? It's keeping paused. We still ain't got to the backlog. Yeah, yeah. This what's been going on. It's just been a lot. And again, oh, L Trim. I remember them they were like the bass with the boom. I don't remember the rap song, but I remember the group. But yeah, yeah, it's just been a lot. But next time we're gonna go live before the year's out. And we're gonna keep it light, right? We're gonna talk about, the stuff we always talk about. But again, I just wanted to tell y'all what was going on, man, because I just didn't want y'all, man, like, dang, what's going on with Empress? You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to let y'all down. You know what I mean? And yeah, sometimes as they say, life be lifing. Uh, so just wanted to let y'all know that it's been wild, but y'all have been support, and yeah, couldn't done without y'all, couldn't done it without pressure, and now baby Empress, and of course me and more, y'all know. So all right, y'all. Play a Carpenter's Christmas song. Merry Christmas. But yeah, y'all, we've been on here a long time now. Yeah, I'm getting hungry. Tomorrow is my actual birthday, so we'll see what we got planned. Oh yeah, y'all, Pressure got me this ring for my birthday too. Isn't this nice? Like, icy, icy. So yeah, y'all, but yeah, yeah. And again, it's crazy though because you know. Oh, Aaron, I'm gonna ask you a question. What's the biggest lesson you've learned from this? Um, I will never put myself on the line for people like that again. You know what I'm saying? Because what I learned is people are unappreciative of the sacrifices you make for them. Um, and they then try to turn that and use it against you in a weird way. So that's what I learned. I will never put myself on the line for besides Empress, baby Empress, for anybody like that again. And also, I will never let people live with me again either. Like once you get a house guest, no folks don't want to leave. Okay. Oh yeah, y'all. Listen, I thought I was too cool. Like me going through some stuff like this, never. But yeah, right. I was the fool, and like people who know me, like Empress, you. All I can do is shake my head. Yep, that's right. But I love you guys. I'm hungry. Y'all probably hungry now too. If y'all going through the same thing I'm going through or have went through, just know it get better. And just know that people will use you for as long as you let them. You know what I'm saying? I had to learn that too. And I had to take accountability because I made myself too accessible. But being you said it, I had no boundaries, none whatsoever. If I got paid, the whole family knew. Hey y'all, I got paid. Y'all want some wings? Yeah, I was too nice, and when you're too nice, you get taken advantage of. So That's what I learned. But I love you guys. Merry Christmas. We gonna talk after Christmas. So y'all get ready. Drop no questions below. I want to hear how y'all Christmas are too. Um, yeah, I love y'all. Bye. I'll say hi to Pressure. Bye, y'all.